I came here to do my thing and I came to get my money. Hustling hard and we get the game moving. I don't wanna be a friend, I don't wanna be a homie. Ask your girl who's a new friend named KK. I work hard for the moolah, moolah, moolah. But if you my boy, I'ma keep it real. But if you my girl, I'ma keep it deep. I work hard for the moolah, moolah, moolah. But if you my boy, I'ma keep it real. And if you my girl, I'm just gonna do my thing, Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real. I'm just gonna do my thing, Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real.
If you wanna keep it bling, I'ma keep it 100. It's a sushi one thing and that's the way we want it. So me and my homies, we're making this party. Hey. If you're trying to stop the bad things, gonna get ugly. Yeah, yeah.
I work hard for the moolah, moolah, moolah.
But if you're my boy, I'ma keep it real. But if you're my girl, I'ma make it deep.
I work hard for the moolah, moolah.
Ooh. But if you're my boy, I'ma keep it real. But if you're my girl, I keep
just
it
gonna
deep. Do my thing, do my. Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real.
I'm just gonna do my thing, do my thing, do my. Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real. I'm just gonna do my thing,
Do my thing, yeah. Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do my thing, do my thing, do my thing. Baby, I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real.
So fucking real. I'm so fucking real.
I'm so fucking real, fucking real, fucking real, yeah.
AJ.
You're so good. 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 You're so good.
What is up? What it do? Welcome to Club Shada, episode number 125. I'm your man. No, I'm not your man. I'm your host, Mr. Shada, aka Kaysha, aka Pretty Boy. And listen, this show is brought to you by ShadaWare.com and the guys from Good Fortune. And what is this thing acting like if I don't like it? Are you bugging with me? Wait a minute. Let me. I like my thing to be done well. So, let me see. There you go. Ooh. I will not. This is Korean, I think. So, this is a subscriber from Korea. So, whatever you write it, welcome Valdir Antonio, Aurélie, Jassabj, Maawa, Diallo, Robert ou Robert, Brice, Serival. Actualité, humour. There's some great names. You know, it's funny, I was thinking about this. When you're an artist right now, or a beat maker, how do you choose a nice name now? In a world where all the names are taken already. Like people call themselves Jassabj because all the names are taken, bro. Like, people call themselves Lil this, Lil that, or like, I see all the beat makers have no imagination at all. Here in Portugal, everybody call themselves their initial plus beats. So you got IS Beats. Jorge Gonçalves will call himself GG or GC Beats. Paul Madurgada will call himself PM Beats. So that was like 10 years ago. Now everybody call themselves something on the beats. That's the new, or something on the track. So they keep the same name, but they add on the beat. So, and I'm like, guys, like, there's no more new names. Like, nobody has an imagination. Like, I don't know. Like, find something. Like, look. Angel City, like Diamantero, Mazel Tov. Like I'm trying, you know, my creativity goes even to the name. I remember when Vanda May we were about to launch the first single, and she didn't know how to call herself, and her name was Vanda Marisa, and there was already Marisa the Fado singer plus Marisa the Kizomba singer, and she didn't want to, and I was like, yeah, let's think about it, and we ended up finding together. I was like, yo, Vanda May, and that's unique. You know, and that's her name. It's Vanda Marisa, but Vanda May. And to me, it's part of the creation. And it's part of, like, when you want to be a creator, you have to think about all these things. Like when I was at episode 3 or 4 of Club Shada, and it was called Sushiraw Vibes, I was like, that's not the right name. And I chose a name like quick, because I was like, no, it has to, has to sound great. And yeah, I guess people don't even think about those things, and they don't realize how much. I mean, I see so many beat makers. I got this guy, great beat maker, been making remixes for years with me, more than 10 years. His name is Ivan Souza. So his name at that point was ES Beats. And me, I was like, all right. So at that time, I had ES Beats, GS Pro, GC Pro, something Pro, or something Beats. And I was like, and one day he came to me and was like, yo, I want to change my name. And I was like, yo, if you change your name, we have to change your name in all the releases and all the remixes. And you have, because this is your brand that you're doing. So when you change your brand, especially if you change it in the beginning, it's okay. But if you change it mid-course, yeah, listen, it's I don't know. I believe that if you change your name after like a few years, there's a lot of people, they might not find you because they go to the platform to look for your name. You see what I mean? And hey, that's it is what it is. But yeah, it's important. A lot of people, they don't realize with the names that they use that you have to pick a name that not only is easy, is memorable, but at the same time is not something that anybody will like, something that is not like common, that like if you call yourself, I don't know, the Sunrise, if I type the Sunrise on Google, I'm gonna have a bunch of sunrise pictures and sunrise stuff before I end up finding you. And you have to be careful when you choose your name to be able to be findable, searchable, SEO ready, sorry. And a lot of people, they don't think about that. They just pick the first name, and then once it's time, then I remember one day I had this conversation with Jeff, who's a huge Afro House DJ. And I was like, hey bro, listen, on your Spotify, you have some tracks under Jeff, some tracks under Jeff, DJ Jeff, and some others, Jeff Afrozilla. I was, bro, you have to pick one and go to all the places where you release music, all the labels, and ask everybody to unify everything under Jeff. It's super important. People don't realize how important this is when actually he makes everything. Like a name like Kaysha is iconic because when you say Kaysha, it could be the name of any girl. But when you say Kaysha and you're in the music space, you know directly who it is. And there's there's others artists called Kaysha. There's Kaysha, the famous one, but Keisha, I think. There's Keisha, and there's others Kaysha written like me. But I make sure on the platforms that their music is separated from mine. And listen, you cannot. My name is actually protected. It's trademarked. So every 10 years, I just pay for the brand Kaysha, the brand Sushiraw, to be protected so that nobody can come and say, oh, that's my name. But I went through different names before releasing my album. But I had this conversation with myself before releasing my first album. Because if you release 2 albums under one name and then you change, I remember my first name was MC Kem, Kem, Kinshasa Edward Mokolo, and then it was Kaysha, K.SHA, and then it just became Kaysha. And when it was time to release my album, I was like, yo, like what's the name? It's gonna be the same name forever. And some people, yeah, I guess they don't, but hey, to each their own. These want to acknowledge the stream royalty, Mr. Simmons. Thank you so much for being there and giving your donation. Big up to all the sponsors who donate to this show through their super chat. And yeah, listen. I hope you're. I woke up so early that I just went to lay in bed 45 minutes ago. It was 11:50, and I was like, let me put my alarm because I know I'm gonna fall asleep. And yeah, I fell asleep, and I was like, when the alarm was like, I was like, oh, I just want to stay and sleep because I had a long day of work. And well, listen, before and yeah, then I just just woke up like around midnight and 20, and I was like, let me paint my bird, and that's how I got late. I don't know, for those who know, and the reason why I use that intro is because Jacob de Varieux, who's he's a legend. He's one of the creators of Zouk, and he's somebody that I really hold close to my heart. He's one of my fathers in music, and somebody who really gave me the blessing to create my first track ever, and that knows me since I'm a kid, since I'm, I don't know, 6 to 8 years old. He's in the coma right now. There's a lot of things going on the internet. There's a lot of people saying a bunch of nonsense. So I had a conversation with somebody that is very close to him, that is actually with him right now. And she sent me a vocal note. What is going on is that he's in a stable condition. He just was put in a induced coma for him to be able to heal from complications due to a surgery he did 10 years ago. And I guess COVID is implied in it, but he's I really hope that he's gonna be fine. And I want everybody to join me and put some praying hands emojis or some rainbows or some hearts in the chat, so that we can all together send him the positive energy that he needs to heal and to be better. I sent him a voice note. She told me, hey, send a voice note to his phone, and soon as he wake up, I will have him hear all the messages from everybody. So I sent him a note. I was like, yo, you owe me a track. And I was like, hey, listen, we love you very much. Get well. And hey, listen, there's you are really like the father of a genre that changed a whole generation. So, hey, listen, I've been just spending a day thinking about you, praying for you, and hoping that you're gonna make it. And I mean, people are confident. It's scary, but the doctors are confident. Like I said, I spoke yesterday around 4 a.m. I spoke with somebody that is really close to him that replied to me on his phone, sent me a voice note telling me that, hey, listen, it's scary, but things are stable. In around 48 hours, we'll have more information, but he's not like it's a serious moment, but the doctors decided to put him in an induced coma just for him to heal and to be in control. Actually, I don't know if you remember, but when Malcolm's sister, Malcolm Beats' sister was had the COVID, she had exactly the same induced coma that doctors do sometime for you to stay asleep, and then they can just control everything. But yeah, he's gonna be fine. Listen, let me put my heart's if I find the video, there you go. Let me put my hearts and my rainbows. And my stars, because there you go. Yeah, listen, and it's funny. I had my last conversation with him a few weeks ago. I was like, what was I telling him? Wait, I was telling him, wait. Oh yeah. I was telling him, hey, there's some young cats that I did an interview with some young people that have a website, and we did a video interview, something pre-recorded, and I said, hey, father, how are you? I got some young cats. They want to do an interview with you, and what contact should I give them? So he sent me his email. He said, oh. I said, oh, okay, great. And I said, hey, yo, by the way, I want to invite you in Club Shada. And he replies to me, I have to show you that. He replies to me, you pay. So look, here, toi tu payes. Listen. And hey, I wanted to call him these days too, tell him, hey, listen, when are you in the West Indies? It's easier because of the time difference. I think when it's Club Shada, it's afternoon in the West Indies. So I was like, hey, when are you free to come to Club Shada? Maybe even an hour, and just come and chat with us. And now, so that's what I sent him as a voice note for when he wakes up. I was like, we got a song to do, and you have to come to my show. So I'll be waiting for you to wake up. Love you so much. Listen, I love you, bro. You're like a father to me, and I'm waiting for you to wake up. What it do, Bruno? What it do, Moto Music? What it do, Irvin? I even forgot to say hi to everybody. Hey, what up, CV Beats? CV Beats. Another one. Hey, Jujuzão. Yes. Hello, Dalia. You have to send me your photos so I can start preparing my cover art. You know, my cover art for my cover art for next Sunday. What do you do? The future sound beats. Also, getting a name you can claim online is important. On social website, if you choose a common name, you'll find all those social media account taken. Yep, exactly. Yep. I used to have SOS as a name. Bro, you need to step up your naming game. Your names are whack. Some artists even use 2-letter names, which you can't even insert in most cases. Yeah. People don't think about this. Your brand is like, listen, your brand is everything. Yeah, brand new, full of oil. Moi aussi, vraiment. Hello, Sirène des îles, comment ça va? Ah, donc aujourd'hui, c'est pas Sirène des îles 2. Aujourd'hui, c'est Sirène des îles. Yes, we are praying for him. Thank you. We need whole, I just need him to receive maximum energy, maximum positive energy. So, listen, if you can just have a positive energy to send him and he receive all that while he's dreaming. How are you, cousin? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. He's an amazing guy. And he has stories forever. And he's very generous as well. Thank you. What it do? E-Wood Music. Thank you. I don't like it. CV Beats, come on, man. You exactly who I'm talking. I mean, it's not just you. There's a lot of people, but a lot of people use names that they are so common that then anybody can use those same names, and then you go on the platforms and then you have millions of people using the same name. You have to find something that is, and then the first thing you do to protect your brand is you go and you buy the domain name. You find if the domain name of your name exists and nobody took it, and you just take it. For example, in 96, the first thing I did when I had access to a network solution domain names, I went and I bought Kaysha.com. I think it was $12 per month, per year. Sorry, $12 to reserve to get the name, and I bought it for 20 years straight. And then, every 10 years I just pay another 100 something for another 10 years. And I have Kaysha.com, sushiraw, I didn't have sushiraw.com because there's a lot of sushi restaurants that they try to use the name sushiraw. But at a point, I just bought that name from a website that was using it without really having something. I bought it for 800, but it was important. So I have like Kaysha.com, Shadaya.com, Shadaware.com, MonsieurDeShada.com, CandyZouk.com, Kizomba.org, Zouk.org, sushiraw.org, sraw.co, and I have a bunch of other names that I just reserve, and I just invest in those names so that the moment I need to create a website, I already have brands that I can use, and it's super important. And I had conversations with beat makers or singers when we were like, yo, we have to find you a name that works. So IS Beats, for example, is now the Kaysha. And we were on WhatsApp talking about names, thinking about it. I think we called each other and we were like, what about this? What about that? What about that? And then then it was all the Kaysha Beats, and I was like, hey, let's see what is already taken. And then we ended up with the Kaysha, and it didn't exist nowhere. Nobody on Spotify had that name, that specific name. And I was like, let's go. This is the one. And because when you change your name, you kind of, it's like if you're not going back from the start, but a lot of people who are looking for your old name will not find you now. So, and then you have to change your name on all the content that you released before. So it's a lot of work. And listen, it's better to do it early. The earlier you do it, the better. Hey, j'ai posté une photo pour voir ta marque, c'est drôle. M'as-tu tagué? M'as-tu tagué ou as-tu tagué Shadaware? C'est ça qui est le plus important. Et m'as-tu envoyé la photo? Mais merci. The videos with your son on IG is so moving. I love seeing families supporting each other in their own passion. Thank you. Actually, like, since I posted those 2 reels, there's been a lot of, yo, when is this coming out? I'm like, just get ready. I think I need a name as artist now. What do you mean? On top of your name as a beat maker, as a singer as well? Till now, I don't have one, and I cannot use my name. Use my beatmaker name as an artist. I get. I believe that you should change your name as a beatmaker because the future sound beat is kind of. Let me see. If I type the future sound beat on. You see, if I do a YouTube search, I get a lot of it's because it's common to say the future sound. You see what I mean? Or maybe if it was future sound as one word, but I think this group exists. Okay, wait, the Future Sound Group. Okay, it's some people that make show. Don't know. or maybe le future sound. Le future sound. I mean, you see what I mean? It's like it's hard to find you and that's important. Look, if you type Kaysha on Google, boom, I'm here. Thing, my YouTube, my Spotify, my Deezer, my Instagram comes first, my Wikipedia, my music videos, etc., etc. This is super important. And when you choose a name as an artist or as a beat maker, look, when you say Neptunes, you know who it is. You know it's Pharrell and Shada. And you need something like that. Or maybe it's, I don't know. It's something you have to brainstorm to find a name. But I know that every time I did remixes, and the first time I used your name for a remix, and I put in my platform, they sent me an email saying, oh, what is the name of the beat maker? Like, what is the name of the remix? Is it beat? I was like, no. It's the Future Sound Beat. This is the name of the remixer. And they were confused because they were thinking the future, is it the future remix? Is it like, because the Future Sound Beat. I would really try to find something, I would try to find something that works for that. I had a conversation with somebody who does remixes. What's his name? He did the last remixes. Let me look at my thing. He changed the name, and now I actually went and changed my name. His name in all the remixes. His name is, let me see, turn it up. I think it was Ari. DJ Ari. DJ Ari or Ari Beats. What, he changed his name. Yeah, okay, you see. I think it was Ari's. I even forget his name before. But now it's DJ Ari. But at a point he had I forgot what was the name before, Ari Beats or something. And we had the conversation, and he was like, oh, I have a name for an artist and a name for this. I was like, nah, bro, listen. Why, like, if you don't have enough followers yet, why have a name as a singer, a name as a beat maker? Why not just be the same person? When I produce beats for other people, I'm Kaysha. It's produced by Kaysha. Deeper by Nelson Freitas is produced by Kaysha. And One Love, Kaysha is the singer. It's one brand. I started having other brands when Kaysha brand was big enough, and even now I'm gonna stop using Black Buddha Music as a label. I'm gonna move everything to sushiraw, and I'm gonna change. I'm just gonna have Kaysha, Diamantero, and Angel City, and that's it. All my house music will go to Angel City or maybe Diamantero, depending on the songs. And I'm just gonna close it down to 3 because in the day of age where we are, if you have two names, then you have to promote both names. So if nobody knows you as a beat maker yet, and nobody knows you as an artist yet, it means you have twice the work. So let's say, and you will arrive to some of the problems that I had. Let's say I release an Amapiano under the name Diamantero, for example. I'm gonna make a great song, and I have only 10,000 people who listen to Diamantero on Spotify. So only those 10,000 people will receive notification. And I'm not gonna have the number of plays that I would have if I release under Kaysha. Because Kaysha has 250,000 people listening monthly and receiving emails and notification when I release a song. It's the same thing for my YouTube channels. I have a bunch of YouTube channels. You have no idea the amount of YouTube channels that I have. And I end up sometimes I wanna put Let's say I want to put my music in one channel, my vlogs in one channel, Club Shada in his own channel. But then, yeah, I have 160,000 subscribers here. If I have to start from zero somewhere, it's even longer. And it's a problem. When you have one brand that already works, use that one. And so if I was starting today and I was having my conversation about like, I want to do some Afro house, I want to do some house music, listen, I would do everything under Kaysha. I was like, yeah, because today people, they're used to listening to everything. They go to the platforms and like, listen, wherever your name is, they will choose what they want to listen. So you go to Kaysha, you can have some coupe de Calais, some zouk, some kizomba, some afro, some amapiano, some house music, and people listen to what they like. And the platforms anyway will give you the type of music that you like. So if Kaysha does a song that is not particularly your taste, the platform will not present it to you. Simple. And this idea of having 5 names for 5 things, it's actually a waste of energy, I would say. It's a lot of energy. I don't even think that CV Beats is a good name, because I mean, you understand, as a beat maker, but I think I would, I mean, unless the name is already that and everybody use it already, but yeah, I think it's good to invent something that, first of all, doesn't have the name Beats in there or on the track or those things. Those are lazy names. And there's a point where you really want to, I think you have to be creative on your naming as well. You can use the same name for everything. If I were you, I would find a name for everything and become that person for beats and for singing. It is crazy. Actually, talking about kids with names, somebody just sent me a picture. It's a couple. I think they met with my music, and they've been listening to my music forever, and they named their daughter Kaysha. So that was so cute. They sent me the picture, just born. That's so cute. Maximum love. Let me see. Let me do a Google search. Maximum love. There's already a guy called Maximum Love. There's a UK artist that is called Maximum Love. That's the problem. All the names are taken. It's not an easy task to find a name, and you have to really take your time, and you have to go, and you have, well, listen, and you have to really take the time to think about it and ask yourself, what name am I gonna use? I think today it's better to use your own name for the sake of your brand. Also, not to confuse people. It depends. It depends. But yeah, it depends what is your name. But I mean, if my name was Irvin Cabasele, I would try Irvin K. I would look if Irvin K is used or not, and that would be my name. Me was different. I didn't call myself Edward McCullough because that's the name of my father as well, and he's a very famous politician, and I really wanted to divert myself from that name at that time. So Kaysha was the name, but at a point I wanted to call myself Lorenzo Rafael, Miguel de la Fuente. I had a lot of names. My label was Organized Bambino in the beginning. Then I changed to Sushiraw, but I think Organized Bambino was a nice name as well. But yeah, listen, I had logo and everything. Let me see if I still have the logo of Organized Bambino. Graphic Studios, Sushiraw logos. Let me see if I have my logos from 2000 and only find Sushiraw logos. I don't have Organized Bambino logos. Graphic Studios, let me see. 1998. Wait. – 2004. Organized Bambino was before the 2000s. Where can I find? Maybe in my CD covers. Let me see. CD covers. Where are my CD covers? Let me find an old cover. I don't find it. But I know I have something with my old logo. CD covers in Photoshop. I don't find it. But I have it somewhere. The logos. Wait a minute. I also had a label called Smoking Bees at a point. But yeah, I have to look for it. But I know that on my first album, I think that the logo is Organized Bambino. But yeah, you know, at a point I was like, Organized Bambino. Like when I came back from the second album and I really started being independent completely on my third album, I really took the time to think about why I would call this like this, how, etc. And yeah, then it became Sushiraw, you know. My real name is Arnaldo. There's a lot of Arnaldo on YouTube. I mean, listen, it's something that you really have to think about, you know, and find something that works. Yeah, very true, very true. If your name is John Smith, you're done. You know. When we did a name for my business, I was inspired by my own name, IK, and I used my nickname Prince in form of a crown in my logo. Yeah, for example. Now, he was not smoking beats. He was smoking bees. Let me see if I can find it in my computer. That's the good thing. I have everything organized. Damn, I can't find it. Wait. Organized. Bambino. See, if you, I can find my album I'm Ready, but I don't find but I know I have the logo somewhere. Kaysha Jr. That's another lazy name. What? What up, Emmanuel? I received mine. I hope yours is coming soon. So, what did I want to talk to you about tonight? Oh yeah, okay. I got my free subjects. Actually 4, but 3. But hey, you know, I let the club Shada be the club Shada, and you see, we've been talking about names. It's very interesting. Finding the right name is I think it's super important, and a lot of people, they realize that when they get tired of using the wrong name. I remember when I was Mr. Mr. de Shada, and then I was like, yo, it's time to go to Monsieur de Shada. And now I'm tired of that name. Like, for music, I like to be Mr. Shada because that's a nickname that I always had. But as a production name, it's too much time for me to work on Kaysha, to work on Diamantero, to work on Monsieur de Shada, to work on. So actually, I'm gonna merge every song of Monsieur de Shada into Diamantero. I'm just gonna change all the names of all the songs everywhere in all the platforms, from Monsieur de Shada to Diamantero. And yeah, you know, it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's all right. You see what I mean? It's all right because it's a branding thing. Monsieur de Shada is too long to write. There's like, and it's too much work to work on all these brands at the same time with all the things that I'm doing. And it's something that I tell people all the time. And a lot of artists have that problem. They don't know how to let go. And you know, I'm having amazing conversation with business people right now. Actually, I have a story to tell. I'm having amazing conversation with business people. Let me write down in my notes that I have to tell you about this. And when I have those conversations, a lot of people tell me, I have 2 types of people. I have some people telling me, some people tell me, yo bro, yo, you need to do this so you can perform again, so you can go back to making shows and blah 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 blah. And me, I'm like, who told them that I want to make shows? Like, who told them that? It's not a question of I don't want to make shows or I don't like making shows anymore. That's not the question. The question is, what are my ambitions? And do I have the same ambitions at 47 as the one that I had when I was 17, 30 years ago. I wanted to perform everywhere. I was freestyling everywhere, performing everywhere for free. And today, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to raise my price so that I only do performances where it makes sense because people are able to pay for them. And for the rest, I'm going to be busy doing the new things that I want to do. Enter new businesses. Look, I've been talking to you for a long time about doing a documentary about Zouk, doing a documentary about Kizomba Zouk Komba, a documentary about me, my career, doing a documentary about Congolese Rumba, working in movies, working on scripts, on series. I have ideas. But the thing is this, if I use all my energy trying to perform or even just going and doing performances, I cannot put this energy in the next project. And I think a lot of artists have this problem where they have something and they're scared to let go. I'm not scared to let go performing and do it really less if it gives me the possibility to do other things. To give you an example, Club Shada is every Wednesday and every Sunday. If I was back on the road, like everybody else is rushing, trying to go perform here and there, well, I would have to do Club Shada only once a week, and it would be on Wednesdays, because on Sundays I would probably be on the plane coming back from somewhere. That was my life 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Every Friday I was in a plane, Saturday I might be in another plane, and Sunday I was in another plane. And I was just going back and forth all around the world. And I had a show called Kaysha Funky Show. I think I have a few episodes on It's Funny Motomoto, the conversation we had. I probably did 25 episodes, and the guy, he would play them on TV and then he would erase the drives because I don't know why he didn't want to put archives. And I could only salvage 3 or 4 shows and put them in my YouTube channel. And a lot of people, listen, there was a guy, he had a television, and we would go after the shows and we would just take the camera and I would just interview people differently and without any preparation. And we had some amazing conversation. There was some great stuff. And then one guy who had a TV channel in the West Indies told me, hey, you know what? I love your show, and I would invest in you doing this in the studio and etc. etc. And I was like, I don't think I will have the time, because it was great to do it just like that, 10-20 minutes, right? But I was like, I'm performing too much all around the world, and I'm busy in the studio working with the artist and my career. I don't think I can fit a show that would be someplace that I have to be and record or whatever. See what I mean? I didn't have like 2 days where I would just be like, hey, let's record like 8 shows and you just have like 3 or 4 or 5 guests. They come, and we pre-record everything, and then we release on the TV. And actually, that show, Kaysha Funky Show, was playing in the West Indies. It was fun. It was let me see if I find some. This guy didn't save anything. This idiot. Kaysha Funky Show. Let me see if I can find. Look, that's me and Jacob. Okay, wait. Do I download it or do I play it? Let me just play it from YouTube. Turn off the music.
Bonjour, bienvenue dans le Kaysha Funky Show, ça va?
Bonsoir, oui, très bien.
Comment vous appelez-vous?
Clarisse.
Clarisse, est-ce que vous m'aimez bien?
Un petit peu.
Un petit peu. C'est un bon début. Il faut toujours une fissure pour pouvoir casser le mur. Dans le Kaysha, voilà, est-ce que nous sommes au Grand Méchant Zouk? En fait, on est dans les loges, dans l'after show. J'aimerais savoir, est-ce que le spectacle t'a plu?
Non, super. Il y avait une super ambiance, vous avez mis le feu sur scène, c'était vraiment sympa.
Merci beaucoup. J'ai une question à poser aux femmes.
Oui.
Pourquoi les femmes sont toujours à la recherche du prince charmant, mais disent tout le temps que les hommes sont tous des salauds?
Je ne suis pas à la recherche du prince charmant, mais c'est vrai que une grande majorité des hommes sont des salauds. Je ne sais pas si tu en fais partie, mais...
Vas-y, regarde.
Non, mais bon.
J'ai un peu grossi. Excusez-moi, c'est... L'argent rentre, l'argent rentre. Mais alors si tu sais pas que je suis un salaud, il faut tester pour savoir.
C'est vrai. C'est vrai.
Tu veux pas essayer?
Non.
Casse-toi alors. Bonjour, ici les caméramans de ATV. Ça va?
Ouais, mais
Dans les coulisses du Grand Méchant Zouk.
normalement, pardon, on passe pas à l'antenne. nous.
La vie c'est comme ça. Dans le Kaysha Funky Show, c'est le monde à l'envers.
Ah bon? Le monde à l'envers.
Le monde à l'envers.
D'accord.
On t'a pas demandé de faire des cunilingus?
Oh purée. C'est quoi ça?
J'ai une question à poser. C'est le Kaysha Funky Show spécial femme aujourd'hui.
D'accord.
J'aimerais savoir pourquoi les femmes sont toutes à la recherche de mecs sérieux, mais disent quand même que tous les mecs sont des salauds.
Je crois que chaque femme recherche un père en fait dans chaque homme qu'elle espère trouver. Ouais, c'est bien ça. Donc, lorsqu'elle ne trouve pas le père, l'homme n'est pas sérieux. Mais lorsqu'elle trouve le père, l'homme est sérieux. Jusqu'à ce qu'elles aient tué le père. C'est très compliqué, c'est psychologique.
Est-ce qu'elles aient tué le père?
Oui, mais c'est les nanas, ça, c'est les nanas.
Tu penses que les nanas sont veulent nous castrer en fait?
Oui. Pas toutes, hein, mais il y en a beaucoup.
Tu as une nana en ce moment?
Non. C'est pour ça d'ailleurs.
Si tu es un garçon, il est à prendre. Bonjour, vous êtes bien dans le Kaysha Funky Show. C'est un Kaysha Funky Show spécial femme, donc voilà.
Des artistes là.
Non, voilà, ce sont des grands danseurs. Alors, comment vous avez trouvé les shows?
Il y avait beaucoup de sons.
Ce petit caracas franc, il m'a donné ses secrets. Alors, nous sommes dans les cuisines car il arrive aussi qu'on mange. Et on mange grâce aux cuisiniers qui font une cuisine parfaite, même si ce monsieur me regarde un peu méchamment. Je vais vous montrer le secret. Le secret, tout est dans la sauce. Tout est dans la... Regarde, tout. Les secrets est dans la sauce. J'aimerais connaître le secret de la sauce.
Ah non, mais il faudrait demander ça au cuisinier.
Allons voir le cuisinier.
Eh oui, le voilà. Tiens.
Oui, bonjour monsieur.
Très souvent, on regarde la devanture, mais on ne regarde pas ce qu'il y a derrière. Bonjour, tu es le cuisinier, comment t'appelles-tu?
Michel,
Quel est le secret de ta sauce?
la sauce de ma grand-mère. C'est le sauce.
Derrière un grand homme, il y a toujours une belle femme. Et parfois, c'est sa grand-mère. Alors dis-moi, pourquoi est-ce que les femmes disent tous que les hommes sont des salauds, mais pourtant elles nous courent après?
Ah ben parce qu'ils nous aiment. Je pense, moi, je sais pas, hein.
Quel est ton secret pour garder une femme?
Ah ben, le faire des bons petits plats. Et ils reviennent toujours.
Ça, c'est vrai que tu as l'avantage sur nous.
Ils viennent toujours en faisant des bons petits plats.
Ah ah. Voici, nous avons le deuxième cuisinier. Et toi, quel est le secret de ta sauce?
Le secret de ma sauce, bah, de la passion, des oignons, de l'ail et bon voilà quoi.
Ça fait longtemps que tu cuisines?
Ça fait 10 ans. 10 ans, ouais.
Est-ce que c'est plus facile pour garder une femme quand on sait cuisiner?
Ouais. Ça fait partie des atouts, ouais, c'est clair.
Ça fait combien de temps que t'es avec ta femme?
10 ans.
10 ans?
10 ans.
Mais comment vous faites pour avoir des meufs depuis 10 ans?
Depuis que je cuisine en fait.
Depuis que tu cuisines?
Comment vous avez goûté, monsieur, la cuisine?
Mais bien sûr que j'ai goûté, j'en ai même pris 2 fois, regarde mon ventre.
T'as bien mangé?
Ah. Monsieur. Oui. En blanc là?
Allez la voir, s'il vous plaît.
Allons-y. Bonjour Josie, enchanté, je m'appelle Kaysha.
Enchanté.
Je suis Kaysha, je suis l'homme qui suis toujours avec des femmes, mais ce ne sont pas mes femmes, ce sont les femmes des autres, je les garde pour les occuper. Enchanté de faire ta connaissance. J'aime beaucoup ton ensemble. Faites un tour sur vous-même s'il vous plaît. Oui. Alors tu fais aussi partie de ce restaurant magnifique, nous avons fait la cuisine, vous nous avez fait une cuisine magnifique.
Oui.
Quel est le secret de ta sauce?
Le secret de ma sauce, il n'y en a pas. C'est juste que j'ai fait des études de la restauration, voilà.
Très intéressant. Les femmes disent toujours que tous les hommes sont des salauds, mais pourtant vous revenez toujours vers nous. J'aimerais savoir pourquoi.
Non, moi je reviens pas vers eux.
Serais-tu lesbienne?
Non, pas du tout. Ah non.
Célibataire endurci?
On va dire ça, ouais. À force de morfler.
Oh, mais ne t'inquiète pas, il y a des garçons bien. Regarde-moi par exemple. Comment ça?
Ça marche pas.
Bien. Parce que nous sommes de la même génération.
C'est ça même.
Voilà.
C'est ça même. Pourquoi penses-tu que les femmes n'ont plus confiance dans les hommes aujourd'hui?
Qui a dit que les femmes n'avaient pas confiance dans les hommes?
Toutes les femmes me disent, les mecs c'est des salauds, même dans leurs chansons elles le disent.
Parce que les mettent se mettent dans des conditions pour qu'on puisse leur dire ça.
C'est vrai.
Les femmes sont souvent vraies. Il suffit de les écouter. Alors je dirais même mieux, lorsqu'on aime, on évite de faire souffrir.
Je suis d'accord avec toi.
Et on reste attentif. D'accord? Et il serait bien aussi que, tout simplement, que les hommes écoutent les femmes, composent avec les femmes, entendent battre le son de leurs mots.
Ouh.
Entre chaque mot, il y a un verbe. Et entre chaque verbe, il y a un mot d'amour.
Joli. Ça c'est un bon. Mais est-ce que tu es vraiment sincère dans tes mots? T'avais combien de temps que tu es avec ta femme?
29 ans.
Je capitule. J'ai jamais réussi à être avec une meuf plus de 4 ans. Franchement. Fausse. Téléanti.com. Je m'en vais parler à Dali. J'ai des logs jusque là donc pour ça ça va Tania?
Ben écoute, je mange.
Oui, bon appétit.
Ça va, merci.
Je vois que ton régime, bien sûr. Live your life. Je veux juste te poser une ou deux questions. Je voulais juste savoir si ça s'est bien passé, le grand méchant.
Ben écoute, je crois que c'était un vrai bonheur pour tout le monde, pour les artistes, pour le public. Je suis très contente.
Moi aussi.
Et puis je suis très contente de te revoir. Je sais que ça se passe bien pour toi.
Wow, ouais, vite fait.
Beaucoup de bonheur aussi.
C'est gentil ça.
Voilà.
Quel est ton secret pour rajeunir à chaque fois que je te vois et être encore plus belle à chaque fois et faire que les garçons comme moi tombent amoureux encore plus?
Oh, t'es pas amoureux? Non, je crois pas que je rajeunis. Je pense que j'essaie de prendre soin de moi, de faire attention à ma...
Moi je connais des filles avec qui je suis sorti il y a 17 ans, aujourd'hui elles ressemblent à rien du tout. Aujourd'hui c'est des vieilles peaux de banane.
Écoute, bon, j'essaye de prendre soin de moi, de faire ce qu'il faut. Voilà, en gros c'est ça. Et puis je crois que la beauté ça se passe avant tout dans le cœur. Quand on est bon, ça transperce et puis ça dure. On n'a pas d'effort à faire.
Bon, ça va pour l'instant. Alors je pose la même question à tout le monde. Pourquoi est-ce que les femmes disent toutes que les hommes sont des salauds?
Bon, je pense pas que les hommes sont des salauds. Je pense que les hommes ont une vision des choses qui est différente.
Ah, très différente.
Des femmes très différentes. Je crois que les femmes sont des fleurs bleues. Quoique maintenant, les femmes sont devenues très
Elles ont
stratégiques.
changé, hein.
Ouais,
elles sont
maintenant,
vindictives maintenant.
elles sont très stratégiques, elles réfléchissent énormément. Mais bon, il y a du bon, il y a du mauvais à prendre. Mais bon, moi, je reste dans ma formule, ça me plaît bien. J'évolue selon mon cœur.
Que penses-tu des jeunes femmes d'aujourd'hui qui sont un peu rapides en besogne quand même?
Bah écoute, je crois que vous leur avez donné tellement de choses négatives que...
Qui vous? Pourquoi tu me mets dans le panier, moi? Non, attends, non.
Je crois.
Je tiens à dire. Devant. Excuse-moi, parenthèse. Je tiens à dire que si vous mettez les garçons tous dans le même sac, dans ce cas-là, je ne suis plus un garçon. Je suis un mutant. Je suis un garçon différent.
Non, mais
je suis un boy.
En fait, il a pas dit, mais il aime les garçons, c'est pour ça. Donc,
non, si, on l'a vu tout à l'heure.
Ouais, il se comporte comme une femme.
Elle a dit qu'elle était contente de me voir. Hein.
Ouais, non, mais bon, j'aime pas les filles. Hein.
Alors que faire pour moi, un jeune garçon présente mon père. Je parle à Jacob. Papa, je vous présente mon père. Ah, je vous présente Joe le styliste.
C'est pourquoi tu m'appelles comme ça et c'est pas bien.
Ok. Le grand méchant zouk, une réussite.
Ouais, ça a été. Bon, il y avait Kaysha, tout ça. Ouais, c'était bien, ouais.
Quel était pour toi le moment fort de la soirée?
Bah, quand il y avait Kaysha.
Oh, arrête de faire de la lèche, t'as pas besoin, c'est toi, c'est attends.
Je sais pas, mais tu m'as dit je vais passer à la télé. Je me suis dit bon, faut faire un peu de lèche quoi pour.
Non, t'inquiète, y a pas de problème, on est ensemble.
Bah écoute, je sais pas, en fait, on me pose la question, mais le problème c'est que c'est pendant qu'on est sur scène qu'on se dit ah tiens là c'est super, mais bon après.
Après tu t'en fous.
Non, mais après on oublie parce qu'il est passé tellement d'artistes, il est passé tellement de trucs, tu vois. Voilà, c'était bien quoi. Bon, il y avait.
Vu qu'il était au rendez-vous quand même, c'était bien.
Bah oui, il y avait du monde, bon, il y avait l'ambiance, tout ça, c'était bien quoi.
Pourquoi, bon, passons maintenant au vif du sujet. Pourquoi est-ce que les femmes disent que tous les mecs sont des salauds?
Pourquoi les femmes disent que tous les mecs sont des salauds? Parce qu'elles comprennent pas les mecs.
Ah, merci. Merci, papa, merci.
Sinon, pourquoi ils diraient ça? Sinon.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'ils font?
Non, en fait, les mecs sont pas des salauds. Les mecs, quand un petit garçon, quand il naît, il est gentil.
Oui. Regarde.
Le problème, c'est dès qu'il commence à fréquenter les filles, là, ça se gâte. Parce que tu vois, quand on commence à fréquenter les filles, même petit, hein, on fait comme dans les bouquins, tu sais, on dit voilà, on va leur apporter des fleurs, on va leur ouvrir la porte, on va faire tous les trucs.
Moi, je m'entraînais à embrasser dans mon miroir, j'avais lu ça dans Hockey Podium.
Puis après, tu vois, pendant que tu fais tout ça, il y a un petit voyou qui passe là qui fait viens. Et la fille elle te laisse planter là, elle part avec le voyou. Tu dis bon attends, donc c'est comme ça qu'il faut faire alors.
Admiralty dit parce que elle aime les wood boys.
Voilà, alors du coup on se dit bah, c'est comme ça qu'il faut faire. Et après ils disent vous êtes des salauds. Je dis mais attends, tu as sorti avec un mec qui était pas salaud?
Il y a de la recherche philosophique. Ça contraste vraiment avec ce que disait Tania.
Ouais, genre on s'est penché sur le problème quoi.
Oui, je vois que tu es bien instruit sur le problème.
Oui, non mais bon, les mecs sont pas des salauds, c'est juste bon que des fois on essaie de ressembler à ceux qui ont du succès avec les filles. Et comme généralement ce sont les salauds.
Non, faut pas dire des trucs comme ça.
Non, ce sont ceux dont elles se plaignent. Elles disent oui, celui-là il est pas bien, machin, ça, mais elle est avec lui quand même. Hein.
Tu penses vraiment que les femmes préfèrent les salauds?
Ben écoute, si je me base sur ce que je vois autour de moi, quand elles disent un tel c'est un salaud, généralement c'est leur mec.
Et toi t'es un salaud?
Moi non. Moi je suis gentil moi. Tu plaisantes ou quoi? Moi je suis gentil, c'est pour ça qu'aucune femme ne veut de moi.
Merci maître.
So that was Kaysha Funky Show, and I have look, I know fella probably gave the best answer. Wait. I know fella is the guy.
Le quotidien. Qu'est-ce que tu fais au quotidien pour que cette femme reste et t'aime?
Moi déjà je suis naturel. Je rajoute pas des chichis. Dieu m'a fait comme il m'a fait. C'est pour ça qu'il a rencontré cette femme et elle se montre à moi telle que Dieu l'a faite. Donc on s'est trouvé comme ça, on s'entend comme ça, on est naturel, on se fait plaisir. De temps en temps il y a des hauts, il y a des bas.
Oui.
Je suis pas parfait. Mais j'entretiens la relation, ça se passe bien. Je lui fais à manger, elle me fait à manger, je lui masse les pieds, elle me fait l'amour, on parle de politique, on parle de tout et de rien. On est simple, c'est la simple.
T'as un frère?
Oui, j'ai 11 frères. Je suis le dernier. Mais ils sont tous
écoute, ça te concerne pas tous ces trucs-là.
Ah, ça y est, c'est parti.
Ensuite, je t'écoute mon frère.
Oui, mais il m'est arrivé une chose et j'ai besoin de l'avis de quelqu'un. Tu as l'air d'être un expert.
Oui.
J'ai rencontré une fille une fois.
Oui.
Elle est venue chez moi. Et puis après l'avoir embrassée, nous sommes allés dans ma chambre.
Ouais.
Arrivé dans ma chambre, j'ai fait le test de l'explorateur.
Ouais.
Et quand l'explorateur est revenu, il s'est avéré que ça sentait le cimetière des crevettes.
Non, c'est parce que tu...
À ce moment-là, que faut-il faire? Comment faire? Faut-il dire, franchement, tu pues la chatte, barre-toi?
Non,
ou alors...
tu peux pas lui dire ça. Tu peux pas lui dire ça. Parce que, tu sais, c'est quand il a embrassé.
Oui. Oui, mais je savais pas que j'allais ouvrir une boîte de Pandore remplie de maléfices.
Mais c'est parce que tu l'as embrassé à 23h, à 3h tu déjà voulais la retourner déjà. Ok, c'est pas comme ça. Tu l'embrasses à 23h, tu laisses demain, après demain. Parce que tu sais pas si le jour où tu l'as embrassé là, elle-même n'était pas déjà dans la marmite des crevettes. Voilà, attends, quand elle va savoir que tu l'as embrassé, elle va dire ah, le gars m'a embrassé. Donc c'est-à-dire qu'il y a quelque chose qui l'intéresse chez moi.
Elle part faire une épilation.
Donc elle sort maintenant de la marmite des crevettes. Ça lui prend du temps en fonction de sa condition humaine.
Ça, c'est ce qu'il les explique qu'elle se lave avec du citéal.
Tu vois, donc quand elle sort maintenant de sa marmite des crevettes, là, elle va venir, elle va dire bon, aujourd'hui, tu peux m'embrasser et plus si affinité. Toi, tu as voulu tout faire le même jour, c'est pas possible.
Ah, d'accord.
Il fallait lui demander, mais aujourd'hui, est-ce que tu es dans les crevettes ou tu es quelque part? Est-ce que tu vois? C'est comme ça.
Parce que moi, j'ai connu des filles qui étaient toujours très très propres, très très...
Non, mais ça, c'est ce que j'appelle, c'est de l'arnaque, comment on appelle ça, juvénile. Arnaque juvénile, c'est pour attraper les jeunes. Ça attrape les jeunes, ça marche 2-3 semaines, un mois et demi, et un matin, tu sais pas pourquoi elle se lève comme ça et patatrac. Est-ce que tu vois?
Tout à fait. Tout à fait. Bienvenue dans le Kaysha Funky Show. Il paraît que tu dis que tous les hommes sont tous des salauds.
Non.
Non, mais tu as le droit de penser ce que tu veux.
Non.
Est-ce que tu as un petit copain en ce moment? Et tu dis quand même que tous les hommes sont des salauds, donc c'est un salaud.
Pas encore.
Pas encore. Es-tu un salaud?
Jamais.
Que toutes les personnes qui pensent que ce mec est un grand menteur lèvent la main.
Non, je le connais, c'est un mec bien.
C'est un mec bien? Ah. Mesdames et messieurs, j'ai rencontré un mec bien. Malheureusement, il est déjà pris. Bienvenue dans le Kaysha Funky Show. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Yannick.
Quel est ton email pour les filles qui te regardent au cas où, quand ce sera fini avec elles?
mba1312@mail.com.
Ah, ça y est, c'est bientôt un salaud. Ça fait combien de temps que tu es avec ta copine?
4 mois.
5.
Ah, 4 mois. Oh, bah oui.
On va dire 5, ouais.
Tu penses rester combien de temps avec elle? Estimation.
Quelques années.
Quelques années? Pas toute la vie.
Si plus affinité.
Plus si affinité? Est-ce que tu penses comme toutes les filles disent que tous les mecs sont des salauds?
Comme elles sont toutes des salopes aussi.
C'est ce que je pense.
Tu penses vraiment que toutes les femmes sont des salopes?
Quelque part, ouais.
Même ta copine?
Non, mais elle, c'est pas une femme, c'est ma chérie. C'est pas la même chose.
Ah, mais là c'est une contradiction assez quand même. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ce que vient de dire ton mari qui dit que toutes les femmes sont des salopes?
On verra ce soir, c'est qu'il
Je
a
crois
ça.
que tu es choqué, hein?
Je vais dormir par terre.
Je dors par terre ce soir.
Laisse les garçons s'exprimer. Qu'est-ce que tu penses qu'il faut faire? Oui, vraiment. Qu'est-ce que tu penses que nous les hommes ne devons faire pour pouvoir garder nos femmes?
La respecter, ouais.
Ah, mais quand tu dis que toutes les femmes sont des salopes, c'est un manque de respect quand même.
Bah oui, je la respecte, je dis ce que je pense.
Une salope respecte.
Mais je dis ce que
Mais pas toi.
Mais c'est pas toi, je dis les femmes en général, pas toi. Toi c'est autre chose.
Ah, mais c'est une femme. Je crois que tu as fait une gaffe aujourd'hui.
C'est pas grave, j'en fais tous les soirs des gars, donc c'est pas grave.
Non mais là c'est pas sérieux. Là tu peux pas dire comme ça que toutes les meufs sont des salopes alors que t'es avec ta meuf. Ça c'est des trucs qu'on dit entre nous.
C'est ma chérie, mais bon, je vais pas...
Le Kaysha Funky Show. Je crois que j'ai... How many episodes do I have? I think I have number 9, number 8, number 7 with Claudicia. Oh, there it is. The playlist. Let me see how many shows do I have. Yeah, I didn't have that much episodes, but that was mad funny. And it was all complete impro. I would just be there and we would be usually after a show. Jean-François Saint-Louis, who had téléanti.com, would just take his camera and was like, yo, let's do a show. And I would just pop up anywhere and start asking questions. And he became famous at a point because I was blunt. I just didn't care. And listen, we probably have like 30 episodes that we shot. And this guy, he never saved nothing. And he was like, oh, I don't have space in my drive, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, put it on YouTube or put it on Vimeo or whatever. And back then people didn't understand. And it's a guy he would go to every show and film interviews and stuff from everybody, film the shows. And I was always telling him, hey, put everything on YouTube. But he was like, no, blah, 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 blah. It has to be on my... Il va avoir soif ce soir. Waouh! Très, très mauvaise réponse. Très, très mauvaise réponse. I wonder if they're still together because this was how many years ago? Wait, let me look at the history. Kaysha number 8. This was in 2005. 2000. That's long time ago. So I'm not even sure. Maybe they're still together. Who knows? That was June 2006. That was after we performed with Kassav. And then I had another show called La Voix du Sage. So La Voix du Sage was different. La Voix du Sage was more... everything is on YouTube. Everything is on my YouTube channel. And we had like interesting conversations. One question. And so let me show you La Voix du Sage. There you go, for example.
Les mecs de nos jours, quoi.
Alors, ce sont des profiteurs, des gros crevards. Ils sont assistés. On les entretient et en plus, quand tu leur demandes de l'argent, ils veulent pas te le rendre. Voilà, où va le monde? Tu peux balancer un nom?
Ouais, vas-y, tu peux.
Non, on balance pas. On balance pas.
Tu peux balancer une.
Ça va être Kader.
Ça va être coupé.
Ah non, tu peux le mettre. Je vais l'afficher juste comme ça.
Non, je veux pas. Je veux pas avoir des ennuis. Et toi, que penses-tu des mecs d'aujourd'hui?
Vous faites les meufs. Je vois vraiment la différence. Nous, on est les mecs, vous êtes les meufs.
Exactement.
Ça commence à me gaver.
Vous faites l'amour,
voilà. Et on vous baisse bien profond.
Alors, on va avoir pire. Sauf que moi,
qu'est-ce que Jacques sur en l'air?
Oui, les mecs, c'est ça.
C'est plus les meufs que les gars.
Répondre à ça.
Que vous dire
La voix du sage.
La voix du sage, alors. Laissez-moi vous expliquer.
Il met tes yeux.
Laissez-moi vous expliquer. En fait, tout a commencé avec le droit de vote. La castration dont nous sommes victimes a commencé quand... D'abord, elles ont voulu voter. Après, elles ont voulu qu'on arrête de leur tirer les cheveux. Après, elles ont voulu qu'on arrête de les frapper. Après, elles ont voulu...
Moi, les cheveux, j'aime bien. J'ai jamais dit ça. Oui, c'est vrai, les cheveux, c'est bien.
Ok, bon, elles veulent bien qu'on leur tire les cheveux.
Attends, j'ai entendu oui, c'est vrai, c'est bien.
Bah oui, c'est bien. Moi
C'est-à-dire une basse, tu peux dire à la
Si elle a dit, elle aime bien qu'on lui tire les cheveux. Donc ensuite, t'as aimé ou pas?
Non, là, non.
Son visage, il a bougé d'un coup.
Après, il met 68. Elles ont voulu devenir des working girls. Tu vois? C'est-à-dire que finalement, c'est une castration continue où elles veulent tout ce qu'on fait. Elles veulent gagner plus d'argent que nous. Elles veulent...
C'est pour ça qu'on vous baise.
Et le pire, c'est qu'après tout ça, les mecs bien, ils sont entubés. Mais après, ils vont pleurer pour les enculés.
Voilà.
Toujours avec des bâtards.
Voilà, les meufs aiment bien les bâtards. Vous aimez trop les bâtards.
Et si vous aimez trop les bâtards, les mecs bien comme moi. Mais regarde avec les yeux. Voilà, c'est parce que tu ne vois pas. Tu vois, ça a commencé comme ça. C'est-à-dire qu'au départ, il y avait, tu vois, il y avait, on va dire, tu vois, c'est pas une espèce d'égalité, tu vois. Mais en gros, il y avait un équilibre où en gros, vous aviez ça, nous on avait ça. Vous changez les couches, en échange on paye le loyer. Maintenant elle paye le loyer toute seule. Elles écoutent Beyoncé qui raconte des conneries, qui faut être indépendant. I'm a single lady, independent. C'est de la merde. Résultat, l'homme n'ayant plus de fonction est castré.
Voilà.
Après on commence à avoir des pannes sexuelles.
Eh oui.
Des trucs, on est obligé d'appeler le drogue. On est obligé de boire des trucs bizarres.
Ah, le bâtard, je te jure.
Être opérationnel. Non, pas moi. Vous comprenez? Et puis avant les femmes, il fallait les courtiser, il fallait parler à leurs parents, il fallait appeler chez leur mère. Maintenant, tu leur envoies un message privé sur Facebook, tu la niques le lendemain.
Même, et encore, le soir même.
Maintenant, c'est est-ce que tu baisses? Tu baisses ou tu baisses pas? Tu baisses ou tu baisses pas?
Cette société perd toutes ses valeurs.
C'est plus bonjour, maintenant c'est est-ce que tu baises?
Pardon?
Est-ce que tu baises?
Oui. Mais toujours avec la même. Donc voilà quoi.
Voilà.
Croyez-moi. Sartek, la famille.
Yeah, so that was the Kaysha. That was La Voix du Sage. Listen, everything is still on. Let me put the link. All these shows are available. Everything is on my YouTube channel, the same channel that you're watching. You just need to explore. I have like La Voix du Sage. I got Kaysha Funky Show. I got Inspire. I had my shares of shows, but what I'm trying to say is that today I'm more interested in exploring this type of content. My YouTube content, when back in the days it was just something that I would do like just for fun, you know, in a restaurant, whatever. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, when you want to move forward in your life to something new, you have to not be scared of letting go. And a lot of people, they don't know how to do that. A lot of artists, a lot of singers, a lot of people have a business. Let's say, yeah, listen. Let's say you work in a bank, but your dream is to have your own bakery or a cafe. If at a point you don't take the leap of faith and you try, you're gonna end up 50 years old, 2 or 3 kids, and it's too late to try because you don't have the energy, or you have priorities, and you have to sustain your kids, and you cannot take risks anymore. And this is how life is. The more you have responsibilities, the less you can take risks. When I was, I remember when I was, I think it was before the 3rd album. So I was on my 2nd album. I had no kid. I had no girlfriend. And I could, listen, sometimes I had money. I was doing shows. And sometimes I had no shows, or had shows canceled, whatever the reason. And I ended up having, I don't know, no money or little money. And I didn't care. I didn't care. When I had no money and I was like, oh, I called my manager, hey, when is my next show? Oh, your next show is Saturday. Okay. So it's Thursday or it's Wednesday. I have little money. Let's say I have, I don't know, 200 francs on me or 50 francs on me, and I invested the rest of my money in buying gear or whatever. Well, I would just go buy some pasta. I would buy some spaghetti and buy some bolognese sauce and some butter and some bread for, I don't know, for 10 francs. And I was good. And I would survive with this for 3 days until my next show and until I get my 10,000 francs. I think that was what I would get per show. I don't remember. Until I will make my next show. And I didn't mind. I would just have my spaghettis and I would watch TV. And I was fine. I was in my apartment. My rent was paid. When you have your first kid, failure becomes not only a problem for you, but to feed your kid. When you have 2 kids and a wife, and your wife's sister that is around, and you start becoming the leader of your family, your responsibilities are so different that now when you wake up on the first of the month, you're gonna spend Social Security for everybody. You're gonna spend the rent. You're gonna spend the school for both kids, etc. And you already at 3,000 on the first of the month. You at 3,000. The next month, those 3,000 must be here, and so on and so on and so on. So you have to make 4,000 minimum to survive, and you remember when you had 50 and you didn't care. You were like, money comes and goes. You cannot be in that situation anymore when you arrive to a certain level. And listen, you can move neighborhoods and go to a more popular neighborhood and only pay 500 for the rent and stop putting your kids in private school, put them in public school. I understand all that, but life is about choices. You make choices and you assume them, and you want your wife to be on a certain standard, etc., etc. It costs money, and the more you move in life, and the more you want to resemble your father, and you wanna, and you have the money to do those things. But the more it costs you. You see what I mean? And because of what it costs you, you start, when you have new dreams and new things you want to do, first you have to make sure that you secured at least 2 times the money that you spend every month, that you know it's coming for sure. And for me, it was not shows, because shows, it comes and it goes. People can just decide, hey, we're done with this guy. There's nothing you can do about that. And that's why I moved to, and I will do a show about it. That's why I moved to streaming, and streaming became my main business. And creating catalog became a way to generate income that is way more steady than shows. And soon as I arrived to a point where I was making enough money to pay for everything that I need to pay every month, and to pay my rent yearly, shows became less and less important. And I started saying to myself, hey, listen, there's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot of ideas that I have, right? There's a lot of things that I want to do. And when I travel for a show, I have to leave. Let's say I have to go to Congo to do a show, or America. I'm going to have Friday, I'm going to go to perform, take the plane, perform Saturday, and then take the plane Sunday, and then I will arrive maybe Monday morning, and I will rest until Tuesday. So that's 5 days that you lose, that you cannot do other things. And at a point, you have to make a choice. What do you want to do in life? And I've been telling you, the pandemic was the moment to reinvent yourself. And part of my reinvention was Club Shada. To me, I was like, hey, listen, I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of things that I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. I want to share some knowledge and just have conversations. And it started like that. And then at a point, I was like, yo, this could become a business as well. To make it a business, you have to take the time to build it from the ground up. From episode 0 to episode 500. And all these time, you cannot just stop the show. Let's say every time you have a show somewhere, or your old business, if I could say, and have this stop you in creating this. And a lot of people, they're scared to let go something because they think it's all they have, and because everybody is defining them by how they view success. I don't define success the way other people define success, and the way a lot of artists define success. People define success by being famous. I define success in so many different ways, and fame is just, for me, a byproduct of the successes that you do. Some people are not famous at all, and they make 100 times the money that we make, and they are successful. And a lot of people, when you have the massive hits, the massive career that I have, and the number of songs that I created in my catalog, a lot of people define you and define your success by hits. And they want you to do hits, and they believe that when you don't have hits anymore, you don't exist anymore. And to me, that was 2006. When people were like, oh, hey, you need to do another song like On the Qua, you need to do another song like One Love, you need to do another song like this, you need to do another song like that. And for me, at a point I was like, yeah, but there's a lot of other things that I want to do. Like, believe it or not, when On the Qua was the biggest hit and I was performing everywhere, I was actually making more money and I was making a ton of money from shows, but I was making more money from copyright, intellectual right, composition for Deeper, Nelson Freitas, from other people that I was producing for, but from other people I was writing for a lot of girls. I was writing songs for a lot of artists, and I was also producing other artists, and I was making more money from that, and it was more steady than shows. Because let's say you ask for 1,000 for a show, and you make 4 shows in 1 month. Let's say every Saturday you have a show. That's amazing. That's 4,000 top. The next month, people love you so much, your show is so great, that you have a show on Fridays and Saturdays, and all the clubs want you. So now you make 4 Fridays and 4 Saturdays. You make 8,000. Amazing. You can buy stuff, you can invest in whatever you want to do, etc. But let's say that the month after, when you got used to making between 4 and 8,000, the month after, for whatever reason, competition or time or whatever, it's been raining like crazy, and the clubs, there's not a lot of people, and they're like, no shows this week, no shows this month. And let's say now for 1 month you make 0. Now, if you are prepared, and nobody's prepared, in the beginning. But if you are prepared, since you make the first month 4,000 and the second month you made 8,000, you have 12,000. So normally you pay 2 months of rent. Let's say your rent is 1,000 to simplify. So you have minus 2,000 and you have 10,000 left. Normally you're good. Food, whatever, etc. Let's say you invested 2,000 in material, you bought a microphone, you still have 8,000. And normally the next month that go, you're fine because you still have some money that from the last show. But let's say that you just started your career and all of a sudden there's a pandemic, just like we had. And now there's no show at all for a month, and then another month, and then a full year, and then a year and a half. And all of a sudden you realize that the shows is not a viable solution on the long term. As long as you have a hit, it's cool. But you realize that you cannot, especially in the singing game where it's a young man's game, you need to have the buzz, you need to always have a new hit for people to call you. And people stop calling you for reasons that you ignore, and then they call you back, and then who knows? It's not something you can really control unless you are the one who's deciding where you perform and investing in there. But most of the time, you're gonna have people call you, and then sometimes they don't call you, and you realize it can be a great business if you have a long run like I had, and you make 20 years, 25 years of shows. It's amazing. But still, it's not the income is not steady. And then you start asking yourself, what kind of business I can do to have a steady business? And now let's say that you believe that YouTube, for example, and creating catalog of content, so music for people to stream, and a show on YouTube that maybe one day you will have brands that put their logos here, and then you have to build a community of brands that you know, so that you can have, for example, all your brands. Let's say you want to sell this space for 3 hours or 2 hours. You want to sell it for 500, for example. So if you sell it for 500, you have one show every Wednesday, one show every Sunday. So every week, that's 2 shows. That's 1,000. So in a month, you would make 4,000 from just a logo here. And in the beginning of the show, you come in and say, hey, this show is brought to you by Moto Music Africa, for example. And now you need to have this somebody, or yourself, if you're a small one-man operation, you need to have this place sold every week. So you need to have somebody, or you need to have the conversation with all the brands to receive the logos and all the logistic of having at least 2-3 weeks of brands and logos ready to come here. And now you have a business. And the great thing about a business like this is that not only you would make money from this, plus you make money from the replays, from the views on YouTube, from the clips, and from the super chats, etc., etc. And let's say now you make monthly 400 from that, 4,000, sorry, from that, plus, I don't know, another 400 from views on YouTube, plus streams on Spotify, plus streams on Apple Music, etc., and Deezer, and etc. So you make 8,000. You make 8,000, but your 8,000 are way more steady than shows. But it takes you a lot of work to arrive there. You don't have time to go perform. Simple as that. And actually, it might excite you more than going to perform. It might be way more, it might be way more interesting to you than performing, especially if you've been performing for 20 years. And maybe, you want to start investing in different things and investing your time, because we all live the same life when it comes to time. There's 24 hours. In 24 hours, what can you do? And at a point, you decide what you want to do with your 24 hours. And then the money you make, you can invest it in going to perform, or you can invest it in stuff for the future. And it's choice. And some people, they want to perform forever and they don't care. Money comes and go. They love being on stage, etc., etc. They're good at it. It works that well. It's not a, but I believe that I know some people that were DJs and now they work in stocks and they work in the bank and they're super happy. And now they DJ for fun at home. And you're like, oh yeah, but you work for somebody, and they're like, no. I work for myself. I build my company for this, that. And yeah, listen, now I used to make good money from DJing, but now I make 10 times that money. And I love what I do. And whenever I want to DJ, I can DJ when I want. But now it's not my priority anymore. And you have to let yourself become that. And I have a lot of conversation with friends, and a lot of my friends in Africa, they keep telling me, yo, you need to be on Trace TV, you need this, you need a new hit so you can perform, we need to do a tour. And I'm like, I don't have nothing against performing, because I love to do it and I'm good at it, but it's not something that I need, because you guys are thinking that success is me being the Kaysha of Kaysha on Dikwa. But Kaysha on Dikwa was 2003. One Love was 2005. Music Quarian was 2003. Like, this is a lifetime ago. And if I want to do new things, I have to give myself the possibility to be less about performing and more about those things. And yeah, from time to time, if there's a nice show that comes along and people are willing to pay the price that I ask, hey, I'll just go and use that money to invest in time. You see what I mean? Like, I'd rather do one show. I'm giving you fake numbers, but let's say I used to sell my show for 1,000. I'd rather do one show for 7,000 or 8,000 because of the name, the stature, etc. I'd rather do this and then use that money to pay 6 months of rent, or invest it in the different businesses that I'm interested in, and then the rest of the time I'm chill. Because the great thing is, the money I used to make from shows, I now make it from just my streaming. People like you who come and they come to my YouTube channel to watch videos, or they come to stream my songs, it generates more money than when I used to perform like every week. I generate that money. I generate maybe 2 times that money from my content. All my content, video, music, etc. And it gives me this possibility to say no to a lot of things. And I know a lot of artists that are my same age bracket, and they don't have that. They don't have that luxury. They don't have it. They need at least one show in the month to pay the rent. At least one. And nah. Because especially in a world where competition is global now. You have 1 million people trying to make it, and you have 600,000 songs that are released every 10 days. You have 400 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. Yeah. At a point, it's the world has changed, and you have to not be scared of changing yourself as well. It's all right to become something else. You don't have to feel forced to be what everybody wants you to be, especially if financially you're fine. And but it really depends from one person to another. So reinvesting some of the gain, yep, you have to. It's very important. I think it depends on each artist. Of course, it depends. Listen, every business is different, and everybody has to find what works for them. It's as always, it's really a question of who you are, who we are talking about, and what is their interest, what age they are, how many songs they have, what do they own in terms of catalog, what is their monetization strategy. A lot of people don't have monetization strategy other than performing. Okay, what if you break your leg and you can't perform for 2 months? That's when you realize, oops. And you have to really think about that and ask yourself if there's other options. When you have a brand, look at how the Americans and look at how they mastered the monetization of brands. Will Smith is the best example. He goes from rap to a few hit rap songs to a series, Prince of Bel-Air, to movies, and in the movies he sings the theme song. So he starts doing a synergy between his brand as an actor, his brand as a rapper, and his brand as a family, and his brand as a great guy. And now look, he creates an empire. If he was just thinking, I want to perform forever, him and Jeff wouldn't be where they are today. And it's really a question of what are your ambitions. Some people, they arrive to what their goal was, and then they want to stay there because they never had other ambitions. Well, listen, the things that people tell me about, like, yo, don't you want to have that, perform around the world, be a star again? I'm like, guys, I did this in 2003. We are in 2021. I've been everywhere already. Like, it's not a dream for me. It's it can be a job. I can do it. Like somebody tells me, yeah, listen, I have 10 shows for you. We pay everything in advance. You're gonna have this, and that, and that's for sure. And okay, listen, Club Shada, I'm not gonna be there for 2 weeks or whatever. Well, I'll try to do it from out there, but I'm not sure. So, hey, it is what it is. I'll pre-record some 2 episodes that will play at the right hours, and I'll be in the chat because it's worth it. If not, it's. I mean, hey, what do you think? I went from showing my Kaysha Funky show. I mean, I had some great shows, and I believe that in terms of content, I produced a lot of content. I don't know if you can see on YouTube how much videos you did in the studio. I don't think they used to show you how many videos you have but I think I cannot see how many videos I have. I just know that I have 150 pages of content, and there's 30 rows per page, so that's 150 by 30. That's 4,500 videos. There you go. That's a lot of videos. Send me Kaysha Jr. will rock the show for you, big bro. I know all of you. Get the fuck out of here. So how do you seriously promote an album or your brand if it is not through performances live with your fans? Well, that's a great question. Two ways I promote my brand right now as I'm talking with you. I use my Instagram to promote my brand as moving from a single guy to a family guy, married, etc. That's different type of brand. And albums are dead, bro. Albums are dead. People don't listen to albums anymore. People listen to singles. So the interesting part is that you don't promote albums the same way as you used to promote albums 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now you do a single, and the single comes out on the platforms, and the same way as you receive a notification when I go live, if you click the bell, you receive a notification when I have a new song, and the platforms do all the work. So, and again, I don't do albums and songs to create a hit like back in the days, even if I still do hits, but I don't view the world as people view the world. People view the world, and people view the world of music the same way as 20 years ago. And they want to promote the same way as back in the days. They want to do all that thing like back in the days. Me, I live in a digital world. My whole world is controlled from here or from my iPad. I release songs every Friday, and the platforms serve my songs to the right people by itself with algorithms that work for me because I know how to dance with them. So I'm really not interested in having my videos. I mean, if my video play on MTV Base and Trace, cool. But this is not something that I'm actively interested in doing, because I could stop making music now and I would generate money from my back catalog. I make music for my pleasure now. So I'm not in the same need, I would say, as a lot of artists that they do an album, they promote it, and then they try to perform, and then they do another album and they perform. I'm not in this life anymore. And I deliberately decided not to be in this life because I want to do other things, and because I did it enough. I think my first 5 albums were the moment where I was really in that strategy. Starting from the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, and now 10 coming, I understood that, hey, listen, people, if they call me to perform, they're gonna ask me to sing On dit quoi, One Love, Question My Heart, Fiona, Si tu veux de moi, Bien plus fort que mes mots, Diamonds, Something Going On, Jusqu'à fatigué, and the last one, I don't know, Music Warrior, or 88 BPM 11, or Mélanger 12. There you go. You have a whole show already from my songs that are old. Nobody gonna call me to sing I don't know, All I Have. Because they're interested, because Kaysha is in the popular, the heart of the people. Kaysha is Kaysha on dit quoi, Fiona, One Love, question mark. That's the songs. That's the classics. I'm lucky enough that I don't have one song that is used and unforgettable. I have 30 of them. So whenever I do new songs, back in the day, it was frustrating me. I was like, nobody's interested in my new songs. Everybody was like, yeah, you have to do a song like One Love. I was like, I have 20 songs like One Love. And you will still go listen to One Love anyway. So stop asking me to do songs like One Love. You don't care about them. Because One Love is tied to a particular moment in your heart. So you end up arriving in a situation where you are not competing with yourself and you are competing with your old songs. But if you go to my Spotify, right? If you go to my Spotify and you look for if you go to my Spotify and you go to Kaysha, let me find myself. You will realize that my top 10 songs used to be the usual ones. One Love, Kaysha on dit quoi, Diamonds. But look what I've been doing all this time. Something Going On, the new version, is my number one song. Sexual Healing, the Kizomba version of Marvin Gaye, is my number 2 song. Then you have On dit quoi. Then you have Havana that came out like 2 years ago. Malembe Malembe that came out 4 years ago. Wake Me Up that came out last week. Then you have Diamonds. Then you have She's Dangerous. This is from 2012, I think. Then you got Bien Plus Fort Que Mes Mots still, and then you got Evil Tara Show. That's new. So when people believe that you need to do the things the old way to be able to sustain your music, it's people who think the old way. If you think the way I think, you realize that you don't even need to go perform to promote your music, because the algorithms are there and the people listening to music in the platforms. Now, if you want to go perform the songs in front of a public, that's great as well. But if you are in my position, when you go and you say, hey, listen, I want to sing you my new songs, so let's go. Let's decide that we're going to do a show with my new songs. Let's do a show with All I Have. Let me go to my discography. I'm going to do a show with All I Have, Wake Me Up, Brock It. I'm going to also sing Shake It, Tire Saropa, Are You My Somebody, Locomotive, and maybe... I think that's enough for a show. Maybe Comment Vivre Sans Toi. Okay. Well, in the duration of the whole show, you're going to hear people yell, hey, when do you sing Fiona? When do you sing One Love? Hey, something, yo, are you going to sing this? Are you going to sing that? What? Hey, Kaysha on dit quoi? And you're like, all right, I get it. And it used to frustrate me, but it's an amazing problem. It's an amazing problem. Because it means that if anybody calls me today to go perform, they're not gonna ask me to sing the songs of my last 5 albums. They're gonna ask me to sing the songs from my 3rd, 4th, and 5th album. Maybe this is number 6. Maybe I can put a little bit of Be With You in there, Diamonds. That's it. And the show is done. If it's a club, it's 5 songs, 6 songs. If it's a large venue, it's gonna be like what? 10 songs, 12 songs. And they're gonna be like, yo, you have to sing the hits. And it's normal. You have to sing the hits. Yeah, but you know that I release 40 songs per year? I release songs every Friday. Can I sing some of them? Nah, bro. You have to sing the hits. And you only have 1 hour. And it's fine. It's okay. It's a great problem to have. So those songs that I do, the new songs, the new album, they are not done to perform. This is content that is being added to a catalog that is generating revenue. And the more songs I put in there, the more revenue I do. And I know how to make the listen. I've been making revenue during a pandemic. I was making more money than every artist that I know. Why? Because I was doing Club Shada, I was making YouTube revenue. I have 4,500 videos on YouTube that are generating revenue. And I don't know how many songs. With the number of songs that I release, I have no idea. I don't even know the lyrics to these songs, but they all generate something because I'm making more than 1 million streams monthly, plus more than 1 million video streams from the video platform YouTube. Plus I gain copyright from writing for other people, etc., etc. And you realize that I actually don't need to do new songs. I really do them for the pleasure. And in my head, I'm 10 years ahead already, and I'm not at all thinking of where or when am I gonna perform. I don't care about that. My next show will probably be a special Club Shada from my living room. Either pre-recorded or either live, where I would just have some musician come and I will just sing some songs. And it will be way more. It would be great, or maybe I will just call a friend of mine and rent the place not far from my house and have people come and perform. Because this is not my main interest today, and I'm lucky to be able to move on to different things. But listen, I have things that are way more exciting for me. It's just me. It's not everybody will have what they are excited about. But look, in the content space, Joe Rogan did 1,600 episodes of his show, and it became super popular on YouTube. And Spotify came and they said, hey, we want the show on Spotify exclusive, and we will give you $100 million. Bro, this is way more exciting than doing shows. Even if it's just 5 million. That's a lot of money, but you see what I mean? It's this thing where, why do we, when we reach the goal that we set to ourselves when we were 14 years old, why does the goal is to stay at the goal? Why don't we dream of new things? Why as Kaysha, I cannot dream of doing a documentary? Put all my time in this. Put 1 year in doing a documentary of quality, or a movie. Create a movie, score for movies. Like, why? And this is a problem with us Africans and Francophones, because the Americans don't have that problem. Is that when we arrive somewhere, not only us, we don't want to move on, and people don't want to let us move on. And me, I'm the type of guy, I don't care, I'm gonna move on. Like, you can, listen, it's because there's so many things that you can do. Like, there's so many new dreams, there's so many things that you can build. at a point you have to, it's only you who can do it. Or yeah, you can perform forever, and yeah, you know, if it's your thing, and if you have a public for that, look, compay segundo. Yeah, some people they die of old age on stage and perform until the end, and it's beautiful as well. I don't judge it. I find it beautiful. Like, I find it beautiful. We're talking about my dear friend Jacob is 65, still performing. It was like, actually, he had a tour that he had to cancel, but as soon as he's back on his feet, he's gonna be performing, and that's amazing because he's amazing at that. But that's not my thing. It's at a point he was like, yeah, listen, something I did, it was great, I love it, and today I'm more excited to come here and talk. It's just me. Now, of course, coming here and talk doesn't generate yet the amount of money that I would generate if I do one show. But if I don't take the time to spend it here and generate and create this content, yeah, listen, one day when we have 10 times more people or 50 times more people, if it happens, then maybe every show will generate, I don't know, 2,000 in revenue. And you want to reach there, you have to create the show, and you have to take the time to do it. And the time in 24 hours or in the span of a week, this time it's 6 hours plus all the work that you do on it. You have to do it. And then you have to build and build and build and build. And look, some people might say, oh, I arrived at episode 95. Oh, I was there at episode 3 or 10 or whatever. Some people will arrive at episode 200. And that's beautiful. That's exciting, building something. I don't know. Some people, they just want to be like, hey, I have this, and they want to stay like this forever. Me, I'm like, okay, this is done. Great. Let me build this. And, oh, done? Okay. Let me build this. Oh, done. Let me build something else. I'm a builder. I'm not a guy who's just contemplating stuff. I build, and when I'm done building, I start, I make sure that what I built is generating income by itself, and then I move on to the next thing. So, yeah. It's a state of mind. Put some Rambos in the chat if you're still alive. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to change the name of this. I'm gonna have to change the name of this live, of this episode, because I'm not gonna have the time to talk about the culture of dissatisfaction. I'm gonna leave it to the next one, because I have to tell you a story that happened to me that was funny as hell. If you're still here, and if you want to hear the story, because for now the chat is since I was on rant mode, I scared everybody in the chat. You can say something. All right, 1 rainbow, 2 rainbow, 4 rainbows. That's 5. Let's see how many rainbows I can collect. Or maybe you're looking for the rainbows in your phone. You can put some hearts. Just let me know if you're still here, because I have a story to tell you. It's crazy. All right, I got 3 people. That's good. Do I talk about what do you want to hear? You want to hear me talk about the culture of dissatisfaction, or you want me to tell you the crazy story? I'll wait. sometimes it tells you like, yo, there's 26 people watching, but I'm scared as an event planner. You scared of what? Tell us a story. Crazy story? Joel. Oligaka Kongosa. I'm tell a story. I'm waiting for future Soundbeat to say something. And for Emmanuel to say something. Julie's probably sleeping. I like Mountain News video, actually. I just left a comment. Okay, crazy story. You guys are crazy. Yo. Let me tell you this crazy. I'm gonna have to change. How am I gonna call this live? What did we talk about? We talked about. Anyway, I'll just change the name of the live after. When was it? I received an email. I'm scared to never be able to host you. I mean, yeah, we will. At a point. So I was here minding my business. Then I received an email of somebody telling me that they want me for a show in Dubai. So I'm like, all right, okay. So in my head, I was like, well, I'll charge them 20K or 25K or something or whatever. And it was for like a corporate event for the son of their client, whatever, who was celebrating his birthday, and they wanted me to go there. I was like, all right. So they wanted to have me on the phone to have the conversation about about the show. So me, I was thinking how much I'm gonna ask and how we're gonna do it, and etc. And I was trying to see if I could also book maybe Body and maybe somebody else, depending on what they need. So we talk on the phone, and the guy is explaining to me that he's not into performances, he's more into financial businesses, cryptocurrencies, that stuff, whatever. And that he's looking for artists to perform for this thing. And I was like, okay, so how did you find me? So he tell me something strange about whoever girlfriend that knows me. I was like, okay, fine. And so I explained him, okay, what do you need exactly for your show? Do you need I need a big artist. I said, okay, well, but like, yeah, so do you know artists? I was like, well, wait, you sent me an email telling me that you wanted me for a show. Now you're asking me if I know artists. No, I mean, I want you to perform, but I also want like big artists. And I was like, yeah, but big artists like French, Colombians, Portuguese, Americans, because I can have you anybody, because my manager works at Universal. I got friends in the US industry. I got friends in all the right places. So if you want a big French artist, I can get you Maître Gims, Daju, or if you want some African artists, I can get you Fali. I can get you all the Congolese artists. I have the contacts, right? Hey, Manitou. So I can have you anybody. So you just need to. So if you want American artists, I can just place some phone calls, know the prices. Our money is not a problem. I said, okay. So if money is not a problem, what you need is to tell me what you want. Because if you don't tell me what you want, I cannot really help you, right? So he's like, oh, but can you give me more or less a list of everybody you can get? And I mean, some French people, maybe some Americans, but I mean, I was like, well, it depends who's birthday. I said, people from Saudi Arabia, they want to show off, they want to know that they're with people, so they want to take the photo with the artist, etc., etc. I said, yeah, this is not a problem. I mean, listen, it's just a question of how much as long as you pay people the price they want, they will come and do the photos and whatever, have dinner with your friends or what. It's part of the job. It's not a problem, but you need to have a more or less to tell me who you need, right? And so we're having this conversation, and so more or less I call my manager and I tell her, hey, listen, who do you have in your roster? And she says, well, virtually anybody that's at Universal, but at Universal Music Africa we have hey Kanta, what up? We have this one, and we can also have those. So, that's her business. That's what she's been doing for 25 years. So she knows. And I was like, hey, listen, I don't know if it's a serious thing, but I might have an interesting business, but I still have to see if those people are serious. But just try to get me already the prices of everybody that you have on the roster, and try to see how much would it cost to have Gims maybe, or Daju, or I know Fali's price, but like ask them Dubai how much they cost, etc. So she gets me all the information I want, and so I call the guy. He calls me after a few weeks, and he's like, oh, it's we have to hurry because it's in August, blah 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 blah. We really want to have this show, and we want to have a big plateau. Like, can you have us, like, bring us a number of artists? And I was like, listen, I can have you Portuguese artists, I can have you Nelson Freitas, Blaya. The thing is, if I don't know what you guys like, I can't really, like, I can just send you a list of people, and then you choose who you want to work with. And so the guy is he kind of not explains to me exactly, but he's like, oh, listen, I think we like those ones, maybe we can have you and this guy, right? Yes. And for 20 years. So now the guy is I call him again, and we have a conversation about the organization of his show, etc. And he explains to me a little bit more about himself, like what he does. He tells me that he buys and sells cryptocurrencies for and art for his clients. And I'm like, okay, yeah, very interesting. He's like, oh, do you know anything about cryptos? I said, yeah. Do you have some cryptos? I do. Oh, okay, interesting conversation, etc. Cool guy. And me, I'm here to talk about business. I'm not here to, but cool. Then in the conversation, he explains to me that the person that wants to organize this big party he's interested in football and etc. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. He said, oh, do you know anything about football? I said, I'm not especially a football fan, but I know a few football players because a good friend of mine is somebody that sells football players. And sometimes I go there, we go to the VIP, we watch the games, and we eat there in the stadiums up there with the people with the cigar where the real money is. And I'm there when they are doing the negotiation between teams and football players. And I said, oh, well, I have a guy who's really into the thing. And he's like, oh, I have another business that I'm very interested in would be sponsoring, paying a football player to come and be in some events, like, come in a yacht or come in a party, be there and promote our company. And it's a good look to have players and listen, we have millions that we are ready to invest in this every year. So I'm like, listen, if you are interested, I know, I can open some doors for you, and we can talk about one event, 2 events. No, we want like the whole year. We really want. I was like, well, okay. Listen, it's something you have to understand about me. I'm not impressed by money. I was born in money. I've seen money. I've seen that level of money. So I'm not impressed by numbers. You can tell me XYZ. If the money is not in my bank account or in front of me, for me, it doesn't exist. For me, it's just words. So when you tell me, oh, we want to spend millions in this or that, or we want to buy gold, we want to buy whatever, I don't get excited. I'm just taking my notes and I'm seeing if there's a business to be done, and I'm thinking about what my commission's gonna be. So all I know is I'm gonna ask 3 to 5% on whatever transaction. So I'm writing down, and listen, I'm in business. Half of my family is either in business or politics, and the mother of my son is in business as well. I only have business people around me. I talk more to business people than to artists. So when you tell me, oh, we want to spend 2 million on whatever, I don't get impressed. I'm just listening, and I'm just seeing if what you want is viable. So I'll ask him, so what do you want exactly? Do you want a football player that is right now active, or do you want somebody that is retired? I know a lot of football players that can fit the thing that we can bring you, mostly African players that are big superstars that played in the best clubs. We can have them for you, but you just need to be precise in what you want. So send me an email with exactly what you need, and we will make it happen. So after a few days, the guy sent me an email telling exactly what he wants, whatever. It's not really precise, but okay. So I organized a phone call between him and my friend who is connected and has the right to sell the brands of these players, and just so we can have a freeway conversation. So we have a conversation with the guy, and my friend tells him, listen, tell us exactly what you need and the dates, and then we'll send you how much it costs. And until then, well, nothing special, just another conversation that I have these conversations all the time. But then our guy is starting to ask us if he can get paid in cash. Like, so he's supposed to pay us, right? He wants to pay us, but now he's telling us that, let's say that he wants to invest $1 million in having a football player appear in 6 events, right? So he wants to spend $1 million, but he wants us to charge him $1.5 million, and then to give him the 500 as in cash. And we like, wait a minute. You are telling us that you want to invest. Oh no, it's not me, it's my client. But my client cannot know. I will tell my client that it's $1.5 million. My client will pay you $1.5 million, and you give us 500. So we're like, I mean, okay, if you want. For us, it's not a problem. I mean, listen, it's the same as you have a friend who's a singer, or let's say you have a friend who's a DJ, and his price is 200 euros to perform for 1 hour. And somebody tells you, hey, I really want to work with that DJ. How much is it? And you say, it's 300. And you tell your friend, hey, I'm booking you for a show. Your price is still 200. Yes, my price is 200. Okay. You get the 300. You pay yourself 100, and then you pay your friend 200. No problem. Or you can even tell your friend, hey, listen, I'm selling you for 300, but you will give me 100. It's just reversement commercial. That's how you call this in France. Nothing special about it. But when we were like, yo, wait a minute. You want how much money in cash? You want the 500,000 in cash? Ça sent le frappeur. And then we were like, yo, I don't know. And then the guy was like, oh, you can pay me in Rolex watches. And then we were like, I was like, listen, we are not into obscure businesses. We declare all the money we receive, and we declare all the money we send out. So if you want us to do a deal where we're gonna give you back a part of the money, it's not a problem, but we have in our accountability, we have to tell you, we have to tell whoever we have to tell that this amount is out, right? And then he's like, yeah, but maybe the player can give, those guys, they have a lot of money, maybe they can pay me directly or in crypto or whatever. I was like, bro, no, this doesn't work. Like, in my head, I'm like, yo, bro, like, I was born in Africa. Des frappeurs, on en connaît des millions. You're not gonna, bro. And then the guy, like, 1 hour in the phone telling me that, no, but this and da, and we can do this, and you can send me in crypto or in Bitcoin, and I was like, I don't want to appear nowhere. And I was like, what you mean you don't want to appear nowhere? How you talk about millions? You want us to do a business where there's $1.5 million or 2 million that is gonna arrive to my friend's company, then they're gonna pay me, then they're gonna pay whoever they have to pay, then they're gonna pay the player, and then you want to receive $500,000 and not appear nowhere? So, I mean, yeah, but I don't want my client to know that I got paid. And I was like, why? He makes no, and me, when things don't make no sense, I don't try. And since I'm not impressed by money, and like I told you, I make my money. So I don't make that kind of money, but I make enough money to live well. So listen, if I can make $1 million in a legit way, I'll do it. But if it's something strange, I prefer not having problem, right? And the guy was like, oh, but I don't want my client to know because I was like, So what I did, I called a friend of mine who is probably in the CIA or something. I don't know. He's a friend of mine. He's American. He's Congolese, but he's American. And now I call him and I say, hey, here's the situation. What do you think? And my friend tells me, okay, this is how it works. It's possible that these people have access to a bank account, and maybe they have somebody in the bank that is their accomplice, and maybe they have somebody who has like 500 million in his bank account and will not realize quickly if, let's say, he loses a million or 1,000,005. He will not see it quickly because they always spend and whatever. Those people who have a lot of money, maybe somebody who has like 5 billion will not really realize. Like me, I don't have that money, but sometimes there's 5, 10, 100 that comes and go from my account. I don't really check, and because I always have automatic payments here and there or whatever. So maybe at a certain level you don't realize, but maybe if there's 2 million that is sent to a bank account, it will trigger the FinCEN, the financial institutions, and these people will come to the owner of the bank account that received the money. But since we give the person his part in cash or in Bitcoin or in whatever, there's no trace of him receiving the money. So they can give us stolen money. Let's say they have 10 million that is stolen. Because they are trying to get 200 or 300,000, they don't care about the 2 million because it's traceable. So they will not tell you. They don't mind losing the million because they're trying to get the 200,000 or the 300,000. And that's how they try to impress you with numbers, with a lot of words, a lot of this, a lot of that. And if you fall on somebody who's emotive or somebody who think, oh my God, this is the jackpot, then easy, you send the person 1,000,005 and you tell the person, you have to give me 500 of the 1,000,005. You keep the 1 million and I take my 500. So you find a way to get them the 500. Once they have the 500, they disappear. And once they disappear, police knock at your door. Yes, hello. You received this amount from the account of the emir of the whatever of Brunei or of Dubai or whatever. This money has been stolen, etc., etc. You have to give the money back, and now you are gonna be monitored your whole life. And now we have our eyes on you because you're part of a scheme, whatever. And journalists will now go and realize that this famous football player was part of this financial scheme, and now it put a stain on that person's career and name, and you might go to prison because and you cannot prove that how you get that money. And you're like, no, I did a deal with that person, and from this website, this was the email, and that person disappears at that moment. And goodbye life, goodbye Club Shada, goodbye etc., goodbye seeing your children, goodbye living where you live. And now you have to reimburse whatever, and you are properly fucked. And I was like, wow, quel FDP. Yo, And I was asking myself, where does this guy find me? I have no idea. But I mean, it's easy. Go to Instagram, maybe he comes to Club Shada and you watch, who knows? But yo, that story was crazy. And I was like, I mean, because I'm gonna tell you what people don't understand about me. I'm a computer. Everything you tell me, I remember. And if I have 5 conversations with you, if you change the things that you tell me during the conversation, I'm gonna beep. And I'm not gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna be like, So you said your dad you come from a family of bankers. But after 4 or 5 conversations, you tell me that you come from a big family of lawyers. And those are details that I'm going to be like, ding, in my head. Or you tell me, you call me for a show. You call me for a show. You want Kaysha for a show. And now we're talking about football players. Ding. You tell me that you're looking for Bitcoins. And I'm like, go to Binance, go to blockchain.com, go to Coinbase, and you can just buy your Bitcoins. No, but don't you sell Bitcoins? Do you know people who sell Bitcoins? I'm looking for, I want to buy 500,000 of Bitcoins. And I'm like, well, you take your 500,000, you go to Binance, or you go to over-the-counter place, and you bring your money, and they give you Bitcoins. Why do you need me to buy Bitcoins when you can buy it directly? And those are the little details when you realize that the person is trying different stuff to try to use you to spend your money or to give you money, so then they can, or maybe do a show for you so they can launder their money. And who's gonna be fucked is you. Especially if you declare everything. Because me, listen, I have my accountant. I would tell my accountant, listen, there's 2 million coming. Tell me how much I have to put on the side or whatever. Or can we pay the taxes directly? That's how I work. So, and this guy was here trying to, to play with me. But I mean, people don't know, like, I come from Kinshasa. That's the University of Crooks. And I know a lot of crooks. Listen, when you're in the music business, you meet crooks every day. And when you are in the life, when you have the life that I had and that I have, listen, crooks I meet all the time. I had conversation about gold, diamonds, about stuff all the time. And listen, there's no more place with more crooks than diamonds, gold. And listen, I have conversations about diamonds where people are like, yo, listen, you know that your part is gonna be like a minimum of 10 million. That's gonna be what you're gonna get. So listen, and they talk to you in a way like, if listen, you little art. And I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. Well, you don't seem excited. I was like, I have no reason to be excited. But that's a lot of money. I said, it's a lot of money when it's in my bank account. When it's not in my bank account, it doesn't exist. It's just words on the phone. So where is the product? Where are you selling it? So listen. And listen, that was crazy. That was great. Listen, something happened to my cousin. Listen, crazy story. Maybe he's gonna see this video. Something happened to my cousin in Kinshasa. They told him that they were looking for the coronavirus. They were looking for special plants that get sent to do the vaccines. and like all these plants are only found in Congo. Okay, and they were saying that, yo, listen, those plants, I forgot the name of the plants, but they were telling him, yo, listen, they really want those plants. Every plant is worth 150, but we can sell it to the laboratory for 300. But we need, like, it's crazy, we need them, etc. And they're like, yo, I have one, and like, I know a guy who has the plant, but I don't have the money. If you can invest the money, invest the 150, when they buy it for 300, you keep the money. I'm fine. So my cousin goes, and the guy's like, my cousin didn't know about that plant, so he goes. The plant is at 150. He buys one, and I mean, look at the plant. He didn't really, he's not into that, so he just look at the plant. He's like, yo, and now another guy comes and says, yeah, I have to test the plant. So he tests the plant. Well, something like Artemisia, but it was not. I think it was not Artemisia, because my mom does Artemisia, so my mom would have been like, But they like they invented some. They told them some strange name, right? And they tell him, hey, listen, I need to put the plants in some place so I can test it to make sure it's fine. So they come, they take the plant to the laboratory, and they come and they say, oh my God, these plants are amazing. La teneur on whatever is huge. Like the percentage, that's amazing. We can do a lot of vaccine with that. That's great. That's great for the country. Oh, I'm buying that. I'm buying it. They give them $300 cash, $300. So my cousin is like, whoa, I spent 150 and I got 300. And the guy's like, hey, listen, soon as you have more of these, we buy all the stocks. Do you grow them? Where, like, how you got those? Like, the people are looking for those plants. And my cousin is like, yeah, listen, okay. So my cousin goes back to the guy who didn't have the money to buy the plant and tell him, hey, how many plants you have like this? And the guy tells him, hey, listen, I have another 20 of those, like 20 bags of those. So my cousin goes to family members, gather enough money to buy 20 times 150, so that's $3,000 of plants, so he can buy them, so he can sell them to the laboratory for $6,000, because the laboratory is ready to buy them at $300 each. So he goes, asks for people to lend him money. He comes back with like $3,000. Go to the people who are selling the plants. His contact that know the sellers. He buys all the stocks. So that was 20 bags of those plants, and then now he spent $3,000, and then he goes now to the guy who buys, who has a laboratory, and when he arrives there, there's nobody. And he's like, where are they? So wait a minute. The guy who sell the plant and the guy who buy the plant are actually the same group of crooks. But one pretend that he's a laboratory, and the other one pretend that he doesn't have the money, but he has the stock. So you buy one for 150, and the one here pays you 300. Pay you 300. So now you're like, yo, that's amazing. So now you go back to this guy. You go back to this guy and you buy him the rest of his stock. So you pay him 3,000, or 6,000, or whatever amount you have, thinking that you're gonna buy to this guy. As soon as you spend your 3,000 to this guy and this guy disappear, and you lost 3,000. Another day in Kinshasa, Congo. When my brother told me this story, I was laughing. I was like, Tattoo, come on. How can you guys? And I was like, it was like, oh, you know, but we didn't know. I was like, yo, Kinshasa is the place, bro. Crooks everywhere. I have like, when they tell me the crook stories, especially one of my cousin, Cody is he works for the it's not the police, but he has his own business, but he's also part of the DGM, so he knows a lot of those crazy stories. And there's another thing when you can recognize crooks. You can recognize crooks from my mother does artemisia in her plantation, but you can recognize crookery from one simple things. People are in this urgency thing, you know. They're like, hey, listen, hey, oh, we have to act quick because time is passing by, and hey, every minute that pass, we're gonna lose the business. Oh, come on, yo, I have 100 of those plants. A lot of people are trying to listen. There's other people, these guys, they were looking for the plants. Hey, if you don't listen, hey, I have the thing. It's today. Like, if we cannot sell them today, it's over. And then, so you start having this panic and you don't have time to think because people are trying to make you move quick. So you don't have time to verify who you're talking to and all these things. And then you come with the money fast, and then they disappear and listen, I'm talking about $3,000, which is a lot of money, but is nothing compared to this other guy who was trying to put me in a $2.3 million crookery, or a lot of people lose like 100,000 or 50,000 in these type of things. Yo, listen, Pfizer is looking for the artemisia like crazy, but this is a special part. This is not the one that you can find everywhere. It's a special one that is like this, and you can fight like that. And like, if you think of the details, you will realize that things don't make sense. But that's why but when you are with people like me who are computers, every step I'm like beep, 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 beep. And the moment you talk to me, I call somebody. I call people who know people. And I'm like, hey, search for that person. Look for that person. Look for this company. See if they're legit. I have people, that's their job. That's what they do. Yeah. And the thing of the plant, when my mom told me the thing of the plant, I laughed so much. I was like, yo. And like, I think it was just some basic roots of I don't know what. C'était des bêtes racines en fait. And crooks, the scammers are everywhere. And listen, what are we gonna do? Whenever you have a business, somebody propose you a business and they in a hurry, you have to be careful. You have to be super careful. It's like this guy from Cameroon, what they do, they tell you that les frappeurs, how you call it, les féman, they tell you that they can multiply money if you bring them 100, they put it in the special water, and they will give you 200. And they will like, yo, listen, that's what I do, but hey, listen, I only work on a certain level, so don't come to me with small money, right? And you're like, yeah, like it works. And it's like, oh, you don't believe me? Okay, how much money you have on you? And you're like, I have 500 euros on me, but I'm not giving you my five. Trust me, don't worry. I can give you my documents or something to prove you. Give me 2 hours. And they take your 500. They do whatever. They do their magic. And then they give you 1,000. And you're like, yo, nah, I don't believe you. I said, well, it's your 1,000. Nah, come on, that's it. It's your 1,000. What else you want? You just have to let them dry because, you know, I did my magic, whatever. And if you need money or whatever, you're going to be like, yo, and they're going to be like, hey, listen, if you don't have like real money, I'm not really interested. How much money you have? And you're like, well, you know, my economy is I have 10,000. And they're going to be like, 10,000, it's not enough. Like, it's not the real money. Like, I'm talking about like, but bring your 10,000. So you bring your 10,000 and you're like, and they tell you, hey, I need a whole day for that. And after a day, you're scared. But when you come back, they give you 20,000. And you're like, yo. And now they're like, hey, listen, you done wasting my time now. Here's what we're gonna do. If it's to bring me the petit 10,000, faut laisser. When you have real money, like I'm talking about real money, when you have like over 100,000 or 200,000 or maybe 1 million, now we can talk. It takes more time. It might take 2 weeks if you bring me 1 million because I need more, plus de zungu, I need more casserole, I need more. But then, yeah, you bring me 1 million, I will take a cut, of course. If you give me 1 million, I will take 100,000, but I will give you 1,900,000. So now, because you've seen that it works, you go find all your friends. And the guy's like, urgency. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving in 10 days, so if you know people who have money, send them to me. Now you're gonna go see all your friends that have money, and you tell them, hey, listen, I need you to give me 10,000. I need you to give me 20,000, etc., etc. And then you arrive with 200,000. You're like, I'm so sorry that it's not 1 million, but that's all I have. Like, come on, please make it happen. So you're thinking, hey, listen, I'm gonna borrow 200,000 to all my friends, and once I got my 400,000, I'm gonna give the money to everyone, and then I stay with 200,000. And he said, okay, come back, see me in 10 days. You give him the 200,000, and the next day the place disappears, and there goes all your money. Yo, it reminds me of a similar story that happened to me to do a legal internship in China. Fortunately, I stepped back. Whoa. Listen, there's a lot of scammers out there. You have to be super careful. You have to be super careful. But yeah, listen, crazy stories. Now I gotta find a name for this show. How am I gonna call this show? I don't even know what we talked about today. We talked about scammers. We talked about moving on. I want to say. Oh, I know what I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna call this. Don't be scared of letting go. That's too much. moving on from your dreams. That's what I'm gonna call it. What's the name I'm looking for? Ambition. Ambition. Future time. Maybe I will call it. Yeah. I mean, moving on from your dream. Would mean moving on. Yeah, I'm trying to find a name for today's episode. Moving on from your dreams, or it's not moving on from your dreams. It's that the next step. Yeah, the next step. I like this title. Boom. There we go. Yeah, listen. That's all I had for you. If you have other titles for today's show, don't hesitate to put them in the chat or in the comments. I'm gonna leave you with my new single. For those who don't know, I released a new single with Lil Maro called All I Have. And the crazy part is the cover art was done. The cover art was done on with an iPhone in Istanbul when I was there with my wife. And look, you see, now you can do your cover art with an iPhone. Actually, the whole thing was done with an iPhone. Took the photo on an iPhone, did the edition between Facetune and Snapseed, and then added the text on I don't even know which program, and boom. And so it's actually a track that I had a beat from Malcolm, and I recorded 2 songs on the same beat. And when I realized it, and he told me, "Yeah, bro, you already recorded that song," I was like, "Yo!" So I kept the acapella, and I was like, "Okay." So I sent it to Mauro, and he created that beautiful song. And yeah, listen, we're gonna listen to it. Actually, normally I make people listen to songs in the beginning, but yeah, I forgot to do it in the beginning. So this is called All I Have. Before I play it, I want to say thank you to our usual sponsor, Shada, where you can sponsor this. You can put your brand here anytime you want. All you need to do is send me an email or DM on Instagram. And if you know anybody that wants to have their logo here, it is completely possible. And I want to thank all the new subscribers and our stream royalty, Mr. Simmons, and all the sponsors. And yes, an iPhone. Can you imagine? Yeah. When you know, you know. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I will see you I will see you Wednesday, sorry, and I will talk about the subject of today. I love this show. It's All I Have by Kaysha and Lil Maro. See you soon.